Welcome to Amazing Love 2013. My name is Salem, Soni, and I'll be your host. As part of our Amazing Love series, we ran around and asked people a variety of questions and we got their answers. What you're about to watch is an interview on our series on dating. May God bless you and may you be encouraged. Remember, you are God's very best. God bless you. So, today I'm here with Mr. Bernardo and Shanti Michael. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for inviting in your lovely home. So, as part of our Amazing Love series, which Amazing Love is our conference that we're doing on relationship, I'm asking different questions in regard to our culture and just understanding the relationship between people. One of the things that we want to talk about is, first of all, the action of dating. Tell us a bit more about you. How long have you guys been married? Tell us a little more about, we want to know what is the story of the Michaels.
Go ahead.
We've been married for 24 years.
24 years.
Married in 1989, August.
Okay.
And
Tell us the good stuff. How long has it been? For example, when did you guys move to America, or did you move prior to your marriage, after you got married?
okay, good.
Go ahead.
Well, we got married in 1989, as I said, and then moved to Nepal.
Okay.
I was already working in Nepal. We were working in a very remote area, and we spent the next 5 to 6 years of our lives together working there. And then in 1994, I decided to go back to graduate school, and we then moved to Hawaii in the US, and I did my graduate work at the University of Hawaii. And we spent the next 7 years in Hawaii, and completed my doctorate in 2001. After which we then moved over to Pennsylvania.
So we've been in Pennsylvania from 2001
Onwards, yeah,
About
for the
12
last
years.
12 years.
Okay.
Her brothers are my old school buddies, so we knew each other in school from elementary school.
Wow. Okay.
Not me.
I didn't know
You
her.
didn't
Oh, okay. You didn't know you yet, but you
No,
knew the
just my brothers. They
Okay.
went to the same school, and now we talk about it after so many years, how God brought that around. We didn't know that at that time, and he didn't know I existed. I didn't know he had a sister too. He has a sister too. So, go
And
ahead.
so yeah, we came to know each other in 1984, January 1st, and then we kind of knew each other for a couple of years, for about 5 years. So 84 to 89. We were never sure we would ever get married or anything like that. We didn't do dating, and the word dating was alien to us and still is.
Yeah,
but
don't
we were
use
friends.
that word in India.
We were friends. We were more interested in God first than dating. So I think that mediated our relationship. So we got to know each other and we became friendly, and then we moved apart. And I went off to Nepal and I started working on my own. And
So when you went to Nepal, you guys weren't married yet.
no.
No.
But you were.
He worked in Nepal for 2 years before our marriage.
2.5
Okay.
years.
2.5 years with my parents, who were in charge of a school there.
Oh.
So he wanted some experience in a rural place. He was a city boy.
Okay.
So he wanted that experience, and he felt like God called him there.
Okay.
And my dad just happened to be around again when we talk about God. And when we look back, it's all, we see God just all over, directing us. So we really waited on him, and we didn't push this whole thing, of relationship. And even though we were friends, so we really wanted God to show us if this is the right thing. So he actually worked with my dad for 2.5 years, and my dad got to know him a little bit more. Besides being a friend, they became colleagues, and they became friends, So he really liked Bernard. And I guess he wrote to mom about it. He's a nice guy. It's different when you're just friends and you're playing soccer and all these things. But when it comes to marriage, they wanted to make sure.
So you knew her dad and worked with him. You guys already had somewhat intentions of being together. Oh, so you were still platonically just friends.
We knew each other, we liked each
we
other,
liked each
but
other.
there was no attempt to connect in a deeper sort of way. Neither she was moving in her own way, in her own direction.
I can say from my point of view.
Okay.
He's saying,
story.
yeah, it is. Because God was working in different ways in our lives, and I was obviously younger to him. So I wasn't really prepared to get into marriage right away at that time. So he had to wait. He was definitely interested in me. Obviously, it was leading to marriage, and I knew he was very serious about me. So I wanted to wait a little bit more, and I guess he had to wait for me to, kind of think about it a little bit more. So, and I think it's just God who gave me the reassurance about him.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'll tell you more things when you ask me more questions.
Okay.
So.
Well, that is your perspective, but from my perspective, it's a little different.
Oh,
And that was that there was no guarantee for marriage, or there was no such thing. That I liked her, but she was in her own journey. It was a different journey, and so going to Nepal was not part of the deal that
right.
I'm going to Nepal so that I can get married.
Because
No.
some people did misunderstand in India.
Okay.
Some of our relatives and friends did think that, he's going there because he wants to
Get
work.
close to dad,
Yeah, it
so
wasn't.
Gotcha.
It wasn't
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
So,
No.
yeah.
So,
So God was working in His own way in both of our lives.
Okay,
We just waited for an answer,
That's
not
awesome.
to rush it.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And it's funny how, to me, it was like he went to meet the dad, and the dad. So to me, I was thinking that maybe you guys already mutually had talked about marriage, or perhaps something like that.
marriage was not number one.
Mm-hmm.
It was there on the mind, but it was never number one. Number one was God.
Gotcha.
So I went to Nepal was not so that I can wing my way into her
No,
home.
not at all.
No.
That
Okay.
wasn't the thing.
Okay.
No, I went to Nepal as God had sent me. That is a clear distinction
Okay.
in our relationship. That God was number one always.
Always.
And if we came back together, it was because of God,
Yes.
not because we wanted to date and follow the typical
It's a little
storyline.
different. And I guess, when it comes to the crunch, I mean, you meet a lot of boys and girls, but then when it comes to marriage, you want to be serious and you want to, and we both are very serious about our faith.
Gotcha.
That's the faith, the main thing. And I think that has kept us all these years
Gotcha.
through all the ups and downs, because we knew separately that we love the Lord. And that, so even when we came together, it wasn't a big thing, that our faith was still there, So I think that's very important, to have your faith really strong before marriage
That's awesome.
for each of us. Yeah.
And to some degree, your faith, at least both of you guys were moving in the same direction.
Yeah.
So it helped in terms
Yes.
of you coming
Oh,
together.
definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
Okay.
That was number one for me.
So, in regard to what mainly in the Western culture we describe as dating, personally, I called it one's moving from singleness into marriage, whatever that time frame may be, whatever the concept of moving from singleness to marriage, that time frame. Whether some people refer to it as courting, some people refer to it as having your fiance or whatever. There's serious. Sometimes people have steps they take. So you guys talked about you were friends and you mutually understood each other as being friends until you decided to get married, right? So tell us a little bit during that time of your friendship, even though you somewhat liked each other. How did you guys go about being friends?
Yeah.
I think one of the ways we did that was more than going out, we wrote to each other. And that was because part of our culture did not allow us just to be, at that
Hanging
time.
out.
Yeah, at that time. Now I think it's changed. Guys, maybe can come home and ask girls to go out for a date. But at that time we wrote a lot to each other. And
Gotcha.
so, even now when we go back, we look through the letters and it's a little different because we were younger. So that made us express more, and we talked about a lot of things, God and marriage and life, and you can see the maturity in the letters as the years.
As they go?
Yeah, so we started writing to each other for about 5 years maybe.
Wow.
So
Well, that's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
cute. That's like the
yes,
stuff you want.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And he was a very good writer. I guess that won my confidence, won my trust. He wrote a lot of things about God, and you really want to know someone that way. So I found him very deep, and he expressed himself in so many ways through the letters. So I think we still have that collection, and he wants to scan it because he's a historian.
Gotcha.
He wants to scan all the letters and keep it.
That's good.
But that's precious now when we look back.
That is really
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
What do you think about
Well, I think when people ask this question of dating, I'm always baffled by it. Because for me, it's not the question of, the most important question is am I dating God? But here dating slips very quickly into two human beings trying to get hooked to each other. For me, I have to be married first to Jesus. And that's what God showed me. And I became a more serious Christian in 86. I grew up in a Catholic church and a Catholic background, so my faith was always very serious for me. But I became a serious Christian in 86 when I had started my PhD at that time, my doctoral studies, and in '86 when I became a more committed Christian, I decided to quit everything and then go to Nepal and work. And when I did that move, dating was not part of the deal. That God was taking me out into what I look as kind of an Abrahamic kind of journey. You're moving from Ur to Haran and all of that, living the life of the tent and the altar, a nomadic lifestyle. Those were the more important things. And in the process, I did have an affection for her, but everything had to go to the foot of the cross for me. Even that affection for her had to go to the cross. And when you are broken there, then you only think of the next step. But here I find nowadays, when you say dating, it looks a little too convenient, it looks too easy, and there is no cross involved. We just happen to read a few verses in a Bible, we go to the same church, I guess we are ready for life. No.
People take a little bit of seriousness out of their walk with Christ when it comes to dating.
So it had to go, my relationship with her had to go to the cross first, and I had to give her up.
That's one of his favorite things that he tells young people. He says, have you given it to Jesus? Have you put it at the feet of the cross, put it at the feet of Jesus?
That's a very big step.